Welcome to the third Elijah. In the beginning, there was God. And when I say God, I mean Elohim, the only self-existing God. A God who was not created by man from the creations of God. The only true God who's the God of the Bible. He created a perfect love and righteousness-driven world in the beginning, until one of his creations decided to use the power and freedom of choice to go against him. And this creation, although once an angel of light and cherubim, is both the instigator of sin and no type of suffering in this world by choosing a selfish lifestyle. And so today, me and you are in a great controversy. We were born in a war, a spiritual war that manifests in the physical realities. And in this war, we must use our mind, our freedom of choice to choose which side we're going to side with. The Bible tells us that there was a war in heaven way before we were born, me and you. And this war was between the devil, who's Satan, and God. And him and the angels that he had deceived were cast out of heaven, and they were thrown out here. And today they are here working so much to deceive so many more. And so this is the reality in which we are. And that's why there's suffering. Because while the universe was created to be sustained by a principle of love where everything serves, the devil has deceived so many to live a very selfish lifestyle where they are looking out for themselves and even at the expense of others, taking lives of others. That's why we have things like stealing, violence, oppression, and all the kind of craziness that goes on in this world. And while so many people think of themselves as good people, they have this selfishness in their heart, because no one can truly love until they are taught to love by God. Because loving is a selflessness, really pushing yourself and applying yourself to do that which will bring goodness to others, even when sometimes it's not easy. And so think about it. What if we had a world like that, where everyone was loving their neighbor, everyone was doing something to help the next person, where everyone was selflessly giving up themselves to save others? It would be a beautiful world. But the truth is, that's not how things are. And that's why we have suffering today. And a lot of time we ask the question, why is there suffering in this world? If there's a good God, why do we suffer? And it's because we have been given freedom of choice, and there would never be love without freedom of choice. God would make us do all the good things, but where is the love? Because we didn't choose to do it. So the reason why we have suffering as it is today is because God created us as human beings with freedom of choice. And with this freedom of choice, we choose either to hate him and learn how to love from him, or we choose to be deceived by the devil, who teaches us to live a very selfish lifestyle. And the Bible warns us against this, to say that this same devil who has deceived so many, starting with the angels in heaven, is working so hard to deceive many more here in this world. And that's why things are the way they are. He works day and night. He's walking around, walking about like a rolling lion, looking for someone he may devour. And this is how things are working. God seeks for us to have life. From the beginning, he has been doing so much so that we may have life, and have life more abundantly. But the devil, on the other hand, is working so much to steal, to kill, and to destroy. And that's what he's been doing. That's what he's still doing. That's what he's going to do until God puts a stop on it. And so this is our reality. We are in a war where we have to make a choice. Are we going to choose the devil, or are we going to choose God? Are we going to go with evil or good? Are we going to choose darkness or choose light? Wickedness or righteousness? It's up to you. It's up to me. It's up to us to choose either selfishness or love. And so this is how things are. This is the purpose of life. This is why we are here, to make that one big choice, to say, I'm going to choose to love back God, who has loved me from the beginning, or I'm going to choose to turn my back on him and be like the devil, live a selfish lifestyle. A lifestyle where you're looking out just for your own self. And so this is how things are. Only two choices to choose from. And a lot of people think there's so many things that we have to choose from in this world, but really primarily there's two choices to make. You either choose to go with God, or you choose to go with the devil. I know you may be there, you may think, well, I don't believe in God, I don't believe in religion, I don't believe in so and so. But the truth is, whether you acknowledge it, the truth is the truth. And we are living in a world which was created by God, and we're living in this world that is created by the spiritual realities. And the devil is alive, and he's working even more smarter, deceiving so many. And that's why we have suffering, because while we may want to blame so much up to the forces that we don't see, we make choices. We allow who is going to work within us. And so the Bible puts it in this way to say that God made us from the beginning. He made all of us in his image. He made all of us of one blood. And I know so many people want to think that we are so different because we look different. That's the variety that God wanted. It's beautiful when you put people of different colors in one place. It looks amazing. But inside us, God has made us of one blood. We have the same Father who has created all of us in his image, and he has put us here for X amount of time. And within that X amount of time, we must make a choice. Since perhaps we may see his love, we may see how much he's done for us, we may see how much he yearns to have a relationship with us, and we may feel after him, and we may choose because we have the freedom of choice. We are not victims of life as much as we think, because we have the power to choose. We have the power to decide. We have the power to say, I choose to love back. I choose to love God. I choose to learn from him to love. Or you can also choose to say, I have nothing to do with that, and you can live a very selfish lifestyle. And so this is how things are. But the most important thing I want you to understand is that this big choice of choosing between God or the devil happens in the heart. What the Bible calls the heart is the mind. And in fact, as human beings, all the decisions that we make in this life happens within our mind. And that's why it's very important for us to understand how the mind works. Because as we are human beings, our bodies are only servants of the mind. What the mind decides, the body does. And I know that some people would want to think that, things just happen, you cannot control it. You just feel how you feel. But the mind, as much as it may seem powerful sometimes, can be understood, can be controlled. We can use our power of willingness to decide what we will be, what we will do, and that which God wants us to do, we can do. And so I want to invite you on this journey of understanding how the mind works from a biblical perspective. Because we know that God created us, and there's no one who understands us better than him. And then he says, keep your heart with all diligence, for out of it are the issues of life. Another version says, flows the issues of life. And everything we are, everything we do comes from the mind. And the mind is very important, because as it is today, it's where the great controversy, the war between evil and good is happening. Decisions are continuously being made every single day. It's the interface through which God connects with us, and it's the same interface which the devil hacks and tries to connect and control us. And so it's very important for every human being to understand how the mind works. But the secular psychology, secular knowledge will not tell you everything you need to know about the mind. While there is some truth that they will be able to show you, they will not get the full picture, because science as it is will never make sense until it's looked at from the perspective of God. So every other book that talks about psychology out there will always remain incomplete until God comes into the picture, because God is the one who created us. He's the one who knows us. And so I want to invite you on this journey of studying the mind. We're going to be looking at Christ and psychology, looking at the Bible and psychology. What does the Bible say about how our mind works? Because while we may want to think that the Bible is just a religious book that talks about faith, the Bible is the most accurate scientific book that we have today. And so the Bible teaches us about our minds. The Bible has so much to say about the relationships. The Bible has so much to say about many aspects of our lives. And we as Christians, we as human beings who are in this world, we need to understand what God is saying. Because look, he's the one who has made you. He's the one who has made me. He's the one who has made everything to be the way it is. So we're going to be looking at the Bible alongside a book called Mind, Character, and Personality. We're going to go through a whole series where we're going to be looking at how does the mind work? How does our brain work? What brings about all the kind of mental health issues that we see today, and what are the biblical solutions, remedies for such things? Because God not only created us, he's the only one who understands us. He's the only who has the power, authority to heal even when we are broken. And so I hope that you're going to come along on this journey of understanding the mind from God's perspective. Thank you so much for tuning in, and God bless you.